way.
But on just generally on the subject of corporations as a whole, all corporations, really, it doesn't matter whether it's a fast food chain or a department store or one of these superstores.
Well, majority. There are some corporations that are actually really good to their employees. Look at Google. I mean, they have some questionable privacy policy stuff, but their employees are.
But let's look at Google and Facebook and all
not
these
Facebook. Facebook's awful.
Well, no, but they're good to their employees.
And Windows, Microsoft is good to their employees.
Yeah, but do any of those exist like in the Midwest? No.
Google has places all over the United States.
Not here.
Not yet.
Not in
Google
Indy.
has actually been on a campaign of buying small businesses everywhere.
Now, I figure
anybody who does anything innovative, they're buying and throwing more money at it. Because they've got so much money, they're like, well, we can make more money if we just give small upstarts money to develop whatever they want to do.
Let's say we live right here in smack dab in the middle of the Midwest, or the Heartland as it's called. The largest city near us is Indianapolis, Indiana. If they're going to have, and I was just there last week, and so there is no Google.
No, good. Well, yeah. We're not really tech savvy at this state. We're pretty low on the tech.
So, generally speaking, those jobs are unobtainable
here
to most of us.
But I'm saying it, and look how successful Google is, and they give their employees more than minimum wage.
But what do their employees do?
They do hard work, but even like their janitors and stuff, even the low-end crap jobs at Google are way more well off.
What I'm saying is, if they were to come here, open up even a huge skyscraper full of offices, you're still only going to employ, a couple hundred people.
But if every
we've got over 100,000 people out of work. There needs to be more than just Google.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There needs to be more companies like Google who treat their employees better, because in the long run it shows if your employees are treated better, they treat the customer better. And that comes back in sales.
If you treat your employees better, you're going to have just better production.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have better work.
Well, I mean, there are times when I'm at work
craftsmanship.
and I'm like, they want me to do all this extra stuff and they're still paying me the same amount. I'm not going to do anything extra.
But
you
at the
pay
same
me better, you treat me like a human being, I'll do whatever you want.
But here's the pointy end of the stick, though. GM found out if you start paying people $20, $30 an hour to do their job, then they're not really going to do any better. Because GM quality has been steadily decreasing, and the unions really are not. The unions are just in it for the money. You can't fire people because of the UAW. They cannot fire people for production.
But I mean, if you're not doing your job, you should get fired for that.
Yeah,
you should be compensated for doing your job.
That's the right to work movement. That's the basis of this right to work movement. Get rid of the unions so that employers have the right to fire and rehire and all that.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Well, see, Indiana's an employee-at-will state. If you have a job that you expect an individual to run this much production, okay, say it's 100 units. In most cases, it takes 3 people to run those 100 units, but they're putting it all on one person. And then if that person can't do it, they want to boot them out and get somebody in there who can. What they need to do, this will give people jobs, is stop being so goddamn greedy and go ahead and hire the other 2 people that it requires to put out those 100 units at quality. Stop being greedy. That's the basis of every belief I have. Stop being greedy. And that's what it is. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to hit that 1%. No, stop it.
I don't want to hit that. I want to make enough to where I, have food.
Capitalism should not equal greed. Capitalism should equal survival.
Yeah.
You get by. You be happy. Don't try to have more money than Bill Gates. Bill Gates shouldn't even have that much money.
Well, he's already given away more than half of what he's made. And he has a lot of programs that are... Bill Gates is awesome. Do you know his kids? He makes them work. He's not one of those rich guys who just pays for the kids to do everything.
he didn't grow up rich.
Yeah.
He grew up in like Pasadena or something. You know, just building shit. Him and Steve Jobs just hanging out building shit.
Steve Jobs is such a jerk.
Hey,
He's one of the scummiest people in the world.
He's dead.
I don't care.
He's not shit now.
He was.
Was.
I hate him.
Say was. is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Not is.
Steve Jobs was a scumbag. I just... And I understand how they work so closely, you know, in general the same area. And Steve Jobs is like, well, Bill Gates, we built a corporation together. I'm going to sue everybody. Like, that's what Mac is up to now, is they're just a big lawsuit machine.
Well, as I interpreted what went down when it happened, because I was here. I remember when this happened. The separation between Apple and Microsoft, which it wasn't Microsoft at the time, it became Microsoft later. And Macintosh, yeah, it wasn't Apple, it was Macintosh. Anyway, but yeah, you had Gates and Macintosh, and Steve Jobs wanted to take everything that he had contributed to the Gates computer company with him, but could not, because all the patents were in Bill Gates' name.
Yeah.
That's what he originally started suing for, was the rights to the shit that he helped create.
Which I understand.
And then it got blown out and became this big monster.
Yeah, now they sue anybody who has an I in their name for their business.
Yeah.
That's too close to iPod. That's not.
I still think that that McDonald's should come out with a sandwich called iMac and see if they sue.
Oh, they would. They would sue
It's the iMac. Nope, you're sued for I and Mac, bastards. Yeah, I mean, as far as Steve Jobs as a person, I don't think he was a bad guy.
Oh, I've read some of the stuff, and like the way even he treated his employees, which I get, he's a businessman, but there would be projects that should have taken like 6 months, and he would walk into the room and tell his employees, look, if you don't get this done in 3 weeks, you're all fired.
And that comes back to what I was saying earlier, is about being greedy. It doesn't mean he was a bad person, he was just greedy. He got sucked in. He wanted to get rich off his computer company.
Yeah.
And Bill Gates just wanted to see how far his creation could go. That's the big difference.
Have you heard about the new MacBooks or whatever? I think it's MacBook.
I know nothing about Mac crap.
Okay, with a PC, right?
It all sucks.
A PC, you can go in and you can change whatever parts you want, It's easy to repair. The new Macs...
That's all I've ever used.
They switched to SSD. Everyone was like, oh, cool, we can put more memory in. No, they soldered them in. So you cannot change the memory out.
How is it going to... That is bizarre and confusing.
Well, they don't want people to be able to easily repair, so they want people to buy a whole new system, because Mac's fan base is very loyal. It's very these hipsters who think they're super creative because they can afford a Mac. Well, a PC for half the price can do the same thing a Mac can do. It's just a different program.
I've used Macs. I don't know that much about them. At school, they had Macs in the computer lab, and I got stuck using them like half the time.
I use them a little bit.
I don't like it. I really don't.
I mean, I understand there's some programs that are better on a Mac. I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to put the money out just for access to one program that might be cool.
I'm just saying, the programs that they have specifically for Mac that don't work for anything else, I've never used them anyway, and I don't really care.
I like their music programs. That's about like...
you can get Mac emulators for a PC.
Yeah, I could get a Mac emulator. But like...
Because I've
Pro Tools,
stuff like that.
Being a music production guy, I want to try that out, but I'm not willing to go get a Mac system or even waste my time getting a Mac emulator for it. It's just not worth my time. Yeah. Especially for the cost of a Mac. It's expensive for what it is.
And they're not user-friendly at all.
And the iPods...
I tried to use that some bitch for about 15 minutes. Pissed me off.
iPhones are awful. I can't believe how much money people pay for the piece of crap.
Now, I do have an iPod. Like one of the old school 80 gig iPods. It's alright.
It's okay, but it's really...
It does what I want it to, for the most part. You know, I don't like the fact that I have to plug it into a computer to be able to.
You have to have iTunes, and I hate iTunes. That program's terrible.
Yeah, it to me, it's just like any other music program. I mean, I don't get all that into it.
Well, like, okay, if you buy something from the iTunes store,
I don't buy squat from
well,
nowhere.
let's say you did. You buy it so you can put it on your iPod, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say that computer crashes. You gotta get a new computer. You have lost all the music and movies that you have bought through iTunes. So you have to pay for all that again. And is it any wonder why people pirate?
If I want music on my computer, I take the CD that I bought, put it into my CD drive, and put the music onto my computer, and then put it onto my iPod.
Yeah.
That's how I do that.
You also have to pay for cover art now. Which nobody really does, because you can just go download it off the internet for free. But
okay, here's an interesting thing that since you bring that up, we'll go ahead and open this can of worms. People bitch about downloading music. People download pictures all the freaking time. Pictures of all kinds of ridiculous stuff to use as their wallpaper or this or that. And
where's the artist compensation?
why isn't... You know why they're not freaking out? Because they don't give a shit. Because it doesn't matter.
Or like indie movie makers and stuff. Like okay,
they're not losing a nickel.
Comedian Louis C.K. He decided, you know what? I don't have to go through Hollywood to release my DVD or whatever. So he just self-released on his website $5.
There you go.
And told people, look, if you can buy this, please do. If not, go ahead and pirate it. Became a millionaire almost immediately. I mean, downloading, it's a great sales idea. Come on,
It's
guys.
like when System of a Down came out with Steal This Album. Record store, there are some record stores, like Sam Goody, would not carry it.
I remember
Walmart put it in a locked glass case.
I bought it. I bought it before I knew what it looked like and stuff, and I bought it from like a secondhand store, you know.
Yeah.
And I opened it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Because it looked like a CDR. It just had Sharpie Steal This Album on there. But that's what it looked like, and I didn't know that. Same with Borat, because I bought that from that pawn shop that used to be down there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this bootleg looking CD, and it even looks like a CDR and stuff, like no labels. It looks like crap, and I thought I was getting ripped off.
I was like, man, I just paid full price for this bootleg fucker. Yeah.
That's what I hate about the horror conventions. They charge $20 for those crappy bootlegs.
Yeah.
You know they're just downloading those.
Oh, yeah.
And they're movies that aren't in production anymore. It's like, why would I pay you $20 for this? I can just go download it for free. I mean, the company has ceased production. They're not going to make money off of it anyway. They don't care.
And I get where... I understand where the federal government is coming from. Legislators passed this law. It's up to the government to enforce the law. I get that. And if you got people who are downloading all this music illegally and then putting it on CDs and making money on it, by all means,
I don't
yes.
sell the crap, no.
I would say, by all means, yes, go get those.
If I download, let's say, whatever new metal band album comes out, and I like it, right? I will buy either their shirts or their next album or whatever because I liked it. Or otherwise, I wouldn't have even listened to it.
Or go buy the actual CD for the collection.
Yeah. Oh, I do that too. I have so many CDs at my house, and most of it, I'll buy the CD, and I don't want the CD to get scratched up, or there's already scratched up, but I'll just download the album.
Well, what people fail to realize is usually if you download a song, the sound quality is not nearly what you get from actually owning the CD.
There's
anyway.
a big difference.
Yeah. So, even if you download a song, you're still going to go buy the CD because it's going to have a better sound quality. And you're going to enjoy the listening experience more. So you're still buying the CD. You just want to hear it first. Because a lot of the music that people are bitching about getting downloaded, they don't even play on the radio.
Yeah.
You don't get to hear it. You hear about it, but you don't get to hear it unless you download it and listen to it.
I don't have a credit card or anything, right? So I can't buy music that wouldn't be sold locally. Like, I can't walk into Walmart and buy the new Cannibal Corpse album because they don't have it.
Right.
There's not a record store around here that'll carry it. And if they do have it, it's censored and it's all crappy, and I don't want that. I want the full experience.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. If you want to sell CDs and only sell the censored CDs, then you need to put up a big fucking sign that says we only sell censored CDs. Otherwise, don't fucking sell them. I bought System of a Down. I bought Mesmerize from Walmart, and then took it home, listened to it. It was censored. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that was the first album I went and bought by myself.
But see, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know it was censored. There was nothing indicating that it was a censored copy, and I was pissed. I'd been misled.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, you don't know that. I remember buying a...
Well, I wasn't a kid, obviously.
Or his first remix album, the one that had Sweet Dreams and... what else?
You're talking about Smells Like Children?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have bought that, and I was like 12, and the guy at the register was a scrawny little goth kid, so he didn't card me. He got it. It's like, oh, kid wants to buy some ants, so I'm not going to card him. So, you know.
Probably should have. Look how you turned out.
Yeah. Well, I was already listening to music on the internet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I downloaded something, I liked it, so I went and bought the album.
Well, here's the way I'm looking at it. If they're going to bust people who are making CDs, then awesome, but don't go busting the local kid because he's got, a couple thousand songs saved on his computer that he's not sharing.
There's
he's
a big
just
difference
listening
between listening to the stuff and selling it. I understand if someone's downloading your movie and mass selling quantities of it, yeah.
Or even selling one or two copies
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, definitely bust that little shit. He should not be. He shouldn't make a nickel off of it. If he's going to download it just to watch it,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, it's like
he's still spending money on storage.
I watched online
Sleeping.
a movie. I'm not going to give away titles and stuff. Get out of here. We're smoking. But I didn't download. I streamed a movie, which it was a great movie. So now, the first chance I get when I find the DVD, I'm going to go buy it. Regardless of special features or whatever. I like the movie so much. I really respect the way it was done.
Well, especially movie downloads. I mean, you want to talk about piss poor quality.
Well, that's the big issue now is the movie downloads.
Well, you download a movie, and anybody who's ever downloaded a movie knows this. You download a movie, you're going to get the shittiest quality of anything you've ever seen. It's going to be like going back to Betamax. But it's just going to look like shit, sound like shit, and you're still going to have to go out and buy the DVD, or at least rent it, if you want to see it in its entirety. Because when you download it, you also don't know if it's complete.
Yeah.
Because there could be shit missing out of it.
If I watch a movie online, I'm watching to see, do I want to buy this or not? Is it worth my money?
Mm-hmm. The streaming sites, I went to a streaming site once, watched a movie, and got like 30 fucking viruses.
Yeah, you gotta be careful which ones you go to. There's only like one or two trusted good sites.
Yeah, so... But in this day and age, people are going to get whatever they can for free. If you don't want your shit put out for free, don't put it in public.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you want to keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself.
Notch, the guy who made Minecraft, or one of, he got super rich off that, retired already, and he said, go ahead and pirate it.
I thought that game was only like $20.
It is. It's only this is when it was PC only. Got super rich. One of the quickest selling games ever. It's already like the second best selling game on Xbox ever, or whatever. Arcade.
Yeah, I got to get some Microsoft points. I want to download it.
It's good. Especially after they update it, which I'm waiting for. They just did one update, but it doesn't have everything I want yet.
Yeah, I've never played it. I've seen Josh play it. Heard you talk about it.
Well, when Miranda, or anybody really, they watch me play it and they're like, what, you just walk around and dig and then build stuff? That looks stupid. I'm like, you have no idea.
The
moment you play, you're hooked.
The only thing I'm not digging about it is the 8-bit graphics.
That's what I
kind of cheesy.
But also, the worlds in that are ridiculously huge.
Well, I'm thinking at least a 32-bit graphic.
Yeah.
You know, something a little bit better than 8-bit.
Well, I assume eventually they're going to do stuff like that.
I mean, I don't think that they should go, crazy with it or anything. It doesn't seem like it really needs massive graphics, not even 128-bit. I think, 32-bit would be fine for that little game.
Yeah, well, that's the visual style he chose because, he liked whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I don't really care.
Well, even Doom was done in 16-bit originally. It was not an 8-bit game. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a franchise that failed us.
What, Doom?
Yeah. One of the greatest games ever.
The first 3 games were cool.
There are only 3.
No. There's 4.
No.
4 or 5 now. 5's coming out.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I remember Doom 3 coming out on the original Xbox. That was the last game. And then they went to work. They got what's that one called? Rage.
There's Doom something. It's not.
Or you talk about like expansions.
Yeah, the expansions. Those are still considered new versions of the game.
No.
Drop it. Joey has something she's not supposed to have.
No, she doesn't.
I think she dropped it in my room.
Something else that makes me mad. Companies that put out games that aren't even finished yet. And then charge a ridiculous amount for DLC.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're gonna get people to pay $65 for a game, when you come out with new downloadable content, which is what DLC stands for anybody who doesn't know, don't charge an ass load for it.
Yeah.
Be cool to your fans.
Especially if it's not even adding that much.
Like one map.
Well, like, the Call of Duty really makes me mad. Because you get, 4 maps, and that's it. Like, really?
I must say, though, in honor of Rainbow Six 3 coming out...
Yeah, that's cool. I'm
right?
happy that they're going to...
Rainbow Six Vegas 3. It's coming out, so they created a new map for Vegas 2. And I downloaded it for free, because they just put it out for free. So I'm like, yes!
Yeah, I like when they do stuff like that. Gears, I thought, had good DLC. It added enough to the game for the cost of it. It was like 800 points for each DLC. And I think that's fair. And the Call of Duty ones, you get maps, and that's it. And
well,
why do I need to pay
it depends
the $20?
Which Call of Duty you're talking about. If you're talking about Treyarch or Infinity Ward. Because the new Modern Warfare 3 DLC... There's all kinds of shit. There's new weapons, there's new maps, there's new...
It doesn't change the game enough for me, and I don't like Modern Warfare 3. I really hate, every time I get on, it's 12-year-old kids, and they just...
I don't like... It pisses me off playing online. That just irritates the shit out of me.
I thought the campaign was kind of cool, because I followed the other ones. But, I mean, it's the same old story type of deal.
Yeah, it's just a continuation of the same fucking storyline that you were playing before. Actually, it's
cool.
The culmination. It's the end. There won't be... a Modern Warfare 4.
No, they'll make they might be and may follow different characters or whatever,
I think it's cheesy.
Black Ops 2 is making me extremely mad. I'm not even going to look into that game.
I've not, so far I haven't really heard anything good about it.
It looks awful. Call of Duty's going to become the next Madden. Put out a new game every year and add 1 or 2 new features that don't really do anything.
I think they should do like Tom Clancy did with Vegas. It's been, Vegas 2 came out 8 years ago?
I don't know.
Maybe 6? I don't know. A long time ago. It's been a long time. They've been working on this game for a long time.
Well, they got shut down. And then that's why I was so shocked to hear they were going to go do another one. I think Valve is taking over. It's not going to be the same company making it.
I do kind of like Valve.
I love Valve. They're great.
Because the Left 4 Dead games were awesome.
I didn't like them. I thought they were Valve's poorest. I mean, I liked them at first, but they got really old really quick. And
well, you play it a lot.
They got Half-Life and Portal and Counter-Strike and all these great games. And Valve's a really good company. They got Steam.
Portal's really cool.
I like Portal.
Don't like Steam. had one of their games on PC, and it just kept crashing my computer, pissed me off. So
Well, it's like we don't have gaming computers. That's what it is.
well, yeah, that
But
too.
they have great sales. They have great customer support. And look at EA's Origin system. It's awful. Terrible customer support.
The only game that EA ever put out that was any good was the original Sims.
I hate them. They put out Battlefield is really good.
Well, okay.
That's the one that Josh was flying.
Yeah,
I love that game.
I have Battlefield Bad Company.
They put out.
I haven't
good
played
games.
it yet.
Dead
know.
Space is really good. You'd like Dead Space.
Zombies?
Yeah, zombies in space.
Zombies in space. Do you ever get to do any zero-G battling?
Oh yes,
Okay.
it's cool.
Okay, I'll check that out.
lend them to you. I've got both of them,
Okay, that sounds pretty
and
cool.
they just announced the third one. It's just the same controls as Resident Evil, that same over-the-shoulder kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. It's scary though. Like Resident Evil 4 and 5 weren't
Oh,
scary.
you're talking about third-person view?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like if Resident Evil was still scary, because it made me jump, and I horror addict.
I don't think I've ever had a game really make me jump.
You need to play the Dead Space games.
Resident Evil 3 had one part that made a whole room full of people jump. But I can't remember what it was.
Condemned. You would like Condemned. You play as a detective, but it's cool. Like you pick up random weapons and stuff, and
No.
you actually go around and do UV scans. But it's scary.
Tried to play Silent Hill.
The first one was scary.
I didn't think that any of them were scary. It's just
I played the first one when
the
it first came out on
playability
PlayStation.
was just so
young.
frustrating.
Yeah, it's the controls made me so mad. I've never finished one because I get too mad
Yeah.
how long it takes to walk across the street, stuff like that.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah, and then what other games are good that are scary? Amnesia, I've heard that's scary. I haven't been able to play it. SCP Containment Breach, but it's an unfinished game. It's in alpha testing, but it's still scary. And it's like there's a big community. This SCP wiki. It's a bunch of fake-looking government documents. I mean, they look they're read realistically, but it's a horror type deal. Like
Right.
the Foundation has acquired either strange objects or creatures. Like one of them's God. He's just this guy who can appear and disappear. And he just outright says he's the creator of the universe and he's all powerful, but he's just a nice guy, And he has the ability to stop
Charlie
time.
Manson said he was the all-powerful creator of the universe.
The way
Doesn't
it's written is really cool. There's the zombie virus is in there, and I didn't realize it was a zombie virus until halfway through. I'm like, oh my god, that's really cool. Like, it's done super realistic in that sense. And, like, if you're in the zone of it, you kind of get into, you can see this as reality. Like, it's encompassing.
Okay.
What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, it holds your attention. It kind of breaks down that wall of reality. So
Encapsulating.
yes. So it's really cool. I'll have to give you the website. But it will devour so much time because it's so cool.
There is this little cheesy-ass game that Ashley was playing, randomly, of course, because she's random Ashley. I cannot remember the name of it. It's just this 2D little...
Is it the Scott Pilgrim game she was telling me about?
No, I was playing that too, and that's an old school 8-bit Street Fighter like game.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool too. No, this is just 2D, like literally as 2D as you can get. Just the flat screen. You have this little flat 2D. It's all black and white.
Oh, Limbo.
Yeah, where you're jumping from thing to thing. And
Yeah, that's Limbo.
That is a neat little game.
Yeah, it is.
I like that little game.
Oh, I like how these the mini arcade games are getting real creative. Like
I want to.
There's
I need to
Super
find
Meat
that
Boy,
game.
which is one of those Super Meat Boy, one of those side scrolling adventure things. But it's just a blob of meat, and you throw them around and stuff. It's great. Little games like that.
Now, see, I would like to see the creator. I can never remember his name. The creator of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Invader Zim and all that.
Johnny Vasquez.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Vasquez. Vasquez?
Vasquez.
I don't know. That guy. I would love to see that guy come out with a Happy Noodle Boy game like that.
That'd be great.
Where you're just running around just screaming random shit at people. And then
Or just
killing them.
A whole game built in his whole universe, like Squee.
Yes.
I'm so happy that I had Squee issue 1. Mint.
Lucky ass. I have the collection.
Yeah, you have the big graphic novel book, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is cool and all, but I want the comic book.
Yeah, I would too, and if I could find them, then I would. So you can't. Most comic shops won't carry it.
Yeah, that one was a gift. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually know a guy, or knew a guy a long time ago. He married one of my cousins, in fact. I see him every year at the family reunion. He had the entire collection. The entire Jonah Vasquez collection.
My friend Taylor had a lot of them. The only squeeze she had was the big graphic novel book, though.
Yeah. Well, see, mine isn't Squee. It's Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, which is where Squee was introduced. So I have the introduction of
and there's
the character Squee. But
Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is also in Squee, his mini comic.
Yeah.
And I love the fake ads he has in there for Tickle Me Helmo.
Yeah.
This stuff's great.
Yeah, little false ads and
Mini
Johnny the
comics
Homicidal
make no
Maniac
sense.
was a cartoonist who drew Happy Noodle Boy. So Happy Noodle Boy is
Happy Noodle Boy's in the back of the first Squee.
Yeah. Well, he is the mini comic that is in Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comic. And it's, yeah.
His comics, they're so original.
Squirrels will rip your faces off and shit down your necks. Just random, just all kinds of weird little random things. And it's just funny and awesome. And although, I must say, I spent 3 days, read the entire thing at length, cover to cover, and at the end of the 3 days, I felt weird. I did not feel, I didn't feel right. And people could tell.
I think that's if you create art through comics or music or movies or whatever that makes someone feel different, that's successful.
Yeah.
Like I want to make a movie.
If you make somebody feel anything.
I want to make a movie like back in the day when horror movies were still scary, when people would freak out and faint or start fights and rioting. I want to do a movie like that. That needs to come back. Movies that affect people.
Well, I don't know, the only movie that's and I've said this a million times, the only movie that has ever affected me was The Exorcist. I don't ever want to see another movie like it.
Well, it's affected. Like, The Exorcist doesn't bother me at all. I think it has some cool effects in it. And the coolest effect they don't even have in the actual original version of the movie where she comes down the stairs.
That was in the theatrical version.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was, because I got the special DVD, and that was like, on the commentary, he said this wasn't in the original. But I know The Exorcist had a lot of theatrical runs. And some theaters played the full uncut one.
Yeah, well, apparently the theater that I saw it at did, because...
Well, theaters have changed a lot, because back in the day you had theaters that were built to show uncut movies, or they weren't afraid to worry about the R rating or the unrated cut or whatever. Now,
the rating system had just started then, when I was a kid.
And, well, people didn't realize that you could lose money like that, or, what the chances were. And they didn't realize you could get in trouble if a kid snuck in. And
it wasn't... I didn't hear anything about anything being R-rated until Friday the 13th 3 came out. When that movie came out, I wanted to go see it because it was in 3D and it was, Jason.
The only thing I liked about that movie was him getting the mask.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I like the movie in
That's
general,
the best damn part, man.
But that's the best part. Like, 2 was pretty cool. He had the sack. 1 was really cool because it was an original idea, he wasn't the killer, it was his mom the whole time.
Yeah, the big plot twist at the end.
That was cool.
Spoiler to anybody who hasn't seen it. If you haven't,
go. Get off the internet.
Right. Or go somewhere
on the internet and watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to see it because it was in 3D. I'd never seen a 3D movie. And yeah, I just wanted to see it.
I haven't seen it in 3D.
Well, neither have I.
Well, I got...
Because I wasn't allowed to go. My mom said, no, it's rated R.
I got the 3D copy, but it didn't have 3D glasses in it. So I have to find my old 3D glasses so I can watch it in 3D.
Yeah. I went to Best Buy. And let me tell you a little something about Best Buy.
They will scam you.
Some of the people that work there were knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And most weren't. But everybody was nice. I mean, I didn't get treated like crap.
Have they tried to sell you the gold-plated HDMI cable?
Oh yeah, they try to sell that crap.
Those things are so expensive, and they don't change a thing.
Yeah, no.
It's a dumb like anybody who thinks a gold-plated HDMI is going to be better than a regular HDMI does not understand how the connector works.
Right. The only thing that will affect is if you're using solid gold wiring, because gold is a better conductor.
Well,
than
isn't
copper.
HDMI cables, aren't they closer to fiber optics? Which is why they're so much quicker and can produce more imagery.
I got to be completely honest with you. I've never cut one open, and I've never seen a diagram.
I know that.
I really have no idea.
If you hook two TVs up exactly the same with the same system, all that hooked together, and you have one with a gold plate and one with a regular, there's absolutely no difference.
No, there won't be.
Absolutely not.
No.
The way the cable works, it's not like.
Well, it's just like USB. They used to sell gold-plated USB. Cords.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't do shit.
Unless it's like a USB device for music, because the way the sound waves work. I don't know about with USB though. I know
it's still conducting
guitar cables. You get a clear sound when you use gold plated.
It's still conducting electricity.
Yeah.
It's the basis is how many electrons can you push through or draw through either way this conductor. So obviously, if you have a primo conductor, the electrons are going to move over freely. You're going to have better quality of whatever you're trying to.
Well, the only thing I'll buy gold plated for is guitar cables and mic cables and stuff.
All the wiring in the NASA space shuttle program is gold.
Yeah,
that's all they will use because that has to be dependable. I mean, you have lives riding on.
Someone tried telling me my swords were useless because they had a gold sword.
They had a gold sword?
And I'm like, that's idiotic.
Right?
Gold's one of the softest metals.
Yeah. My
steel will tear that apart.
Unless you're talking about electronics, gold is worthless.
Yeah.
It really is. It has no
purpose.
It has no value.
Electronics.
It really, theoretically, has no value.
Yeah.
People like it because it's shiny.
There's less of it than other metals, so people like it more.
Yeah.
Makes it valuable. Well, I don't like
If you're putting it in bars and coins, it's useless. If you're putting it in wiring, it has value.
I prefer the look of silver. It goes better with black. I don't.
Silver's actually not a bad conductor either.
Yeah.
Not quite as
ideal.
Yeah. Well, it's not as easy to work with as copper because it's a harder metal. Things like that, And because there's less of it, it's going to be more expensive. But still, when it comes down to it, we base our entire economic system of the world on a worthless crap metal that you can't use for anything other than electronics. And it doesn't get used for electronics. People keep it in bars and look at it. When I say bars, I mean the gold bars, not like alcohol houses.
Good old pub.
Yeah. We put this gold in the pub and we just look at it. Yeah, no, not like that.
That's probably the worst place to have gold.
Yeah, a bunch around a bunch of drunks who see something shiny and they're like, "Ooh, shiny! I want that." But yeah, a friend of mine had a theory that we were deposited here by aliens to mine gold that they use for their electronics, and that's why we have this.
Why does this sound like something Josh would say?
No, it wasn't Josh. It was actually a guy named Tom.
Did you know in England, I've read many times or heard from English people, they have pubs set up for gaming. Like they'll have Xboxes and PlayStations and computers hooked up in there, and you go in and you drink and you play games with everyone. Like that's like a pretty cool idea. You just go in, you play with random people, have fun.
Yeah. I mean,
I like LAN parties.
That'd be cool.
I think they're cooler than online gaming because you're playing with a bunch of people who could be modders or they just be losers and yell out obscenities. And
I like when we all get together, we bring over Xboxes and hook them all together and play.
Yeah.
That's
well, the
awesome.
problem is we all don't have enough of the same games because for some reason you don't have Gears of War.
Yeah, because I don't have $65.
I need $65 now.
Yeah.
There's no.
You probably find it for about $25, $15 at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
I love that game though. That's probably just because I'm decent at it.
I generally don't buy games from the pawn shop because usually they're scratched.
Well,
We'll go to
I
secondhand
check.
video game stores,
Oh, I love those.
but not
I
like
hate
just regular pawn
GameStop.
shops.
GameStop is awful. But
Well, it's because they've gone corporate. That's
Yeah.
why.
oh, I remember when they first started. I loved them.
Yeah. Well, when they first started, they weren't corporate yet.
They would sell music and movies too. At least the one I went to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I went to that same one, and the only thing that I disagree there is the if you're going to have a video game store, then sell video games.
Yeah.
Can she have a snack?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we've talked long enough. We've transitioned from religion to,
Video games.
well, we went from religion to politics to video games, so, yeah. Alright. Signing out. Yeah. But basically, yeah, like I was saying before, the issue that I have is with anybody who is just completely zealot enough to not be able to understand or accept the fact that they could be wrong.
No, I agree with that. Well, I think the only reason there's an atheist movement is because it's a backfire of that, where like it's become to where our rights have become infringed. Atheists aren't allowed to join Boy Scouts anymore.
Well,
I mean, I understand like everyone has their own rights and stuff, but gay marriage, come on, there's no reason. Like that's purely religious movement. And
that is blurring the lines between the separation of church and state, which they've done on many other issues.
well, I can get like Boy Scouts. That's not a government agency; they can do whatever they want. But
they
it's,
are inherently a Christian organization.
you're not allowed to join if you're gay, if you're atheist.
Mhm.
But not it.
Well, the gay thing, not being allowed to be in the Boy Scouts if you're gay, I believe that's really more of a parent's personal paranoia,
Yeah,
more
which
than it is
I refer to the
ironclad
South Park.
policy.
Yeah,
You know,
I
because they go on
refer
a lot
to
of
South
camping
Park
trips.
because of that.
Yeah, they go on a lot of camping trips, and that
They-
makes parents paranoid.
They fire the gay guy who's doing an awesome job and hire a guy who's actually a pedophile.
Yeah, I saw that episode. That was pretty ridiculous. Funny as shit though, but
But it's true. I mean, just because you're gay doesn't mean you're a pedophile.
no, no, it does not by any means.
And most guys who are caught in pedophilia are typically straight guys
Mhm.
or publicly straight.
Well, pedophiles are a completely different class of individuals.
Yeah.
Which I've said many times, I'll say again, can be broken down into three classifications. You have your cycle of abuse offenders. They were abused, therefore they abuse. Your deviant offenders, who just do it because it's wrong and they get off on that. And then you have your preferential offenders, who see it as, they don't see it as wrong. They see it as it's no more wrong than preferring redheads or blondes, men
Yeah.
or women. They want the same rights to do their things as homosexuals.
That's like that NAMBLA.
Man, boy, love.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, as with anything, it's a mental disorder, and you should work to, like, it's just like depression. I get
But-
depressed for no reason. They like kids for no reason. They should learn to control that.
Here's the thing,
Don't
and that's their
justify
contention.
it.
They can't. That's their contention. They contend that just like homosexuals, we're born this way. Well, the government is now seeking cures for both pedophiles and homosexuality.
There's not going to be a cure for homosexuality. And there's not going to be a cure for pedophiles. There's no cure.
Well, the first two classes, cycle of abuse and deviance, could potentially be reformed. Potentially,
Cycle
because
abuse, yes. I think deviance, that's like, it
that
could happen, but it's going to be harder than
Right.
cycle abuse.
exactly, and it would be very difficult. But the preferential, offenders, I don't think they can be
No, their minds are
rehabilitated.
made up. They don't want to be rehabilitated.
They don't even know. They have no cycle of abuse. They have no prior abuse. They weren't abused. They just prefer little girls or boys or whatever it is. And they will not be made to see life any other way. Therefore, the only course of action is either life imprisonment or the death penalty. And I think the death penalty is a hell of a lot cheaper.
I don't believe anybody has the right to take the life of another unless it comes down to, if I don't do this, I'm going to die. I think that's the only time you should be allowed to kill someone.
In a survival situation?
Yeah, I feel like no human being has the right to take the life of another.
Well, it really kind of goes against a lot of morals.
Well, that's, I think,
the religion
mostly,
aside, I mean, morality on its own, in most societies, murder is wrong, but war is okay. I see a problem with rich and powerful men sending armies to die for land that they won't even get to own if they win.
Go fight your own war, rich douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see these rich douchebags or world leaders get in the ring.
Washington running through the battlefield on a horse. That guy deserves respect.
That guy was batshit crazy and half-hammered drunk.
Yeah, but he was in there fighting with his people.
He didn't want to be president. They kind of forced him into it, really.
He's kind of a jerk.
He also
but he got
didn't believe in
job
the Continental Congress because he said that it was trading one tyrant for 12 or 23 or whatever it was. I don't even remember now.
He's a bit of an anarchist, it sounds like.
He wanted absolute freedom. Not anarchy, but freedom.
Well, so that's the original anarchy. Well, not original. It's one of the anarchy movements where it's like, you still got morals, but you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but see, then that's not true anarchy.
Yeah,
True anarchy is chaos.
Yeah.
In which case, you better pick up a weapon and stand at post because you are going to come under attack.
Yeah, there's a billion splinter groups of every political belief system.
If
like
you come up with a belief, you will have 1,000 splinter groups of people who will believe similar to what you believe.
Well, look at
but a little bit
Marxism.
different.
As soon as that became, communism,
well,
in theory, they're good ideas, but in
the
practice,
the Communist Manifesto, written by Karl Marx and that other guy, Hindenburg or whatever the fuck his name was, I don't even remember now. I've read it. Didn't really follow some of it because it's old language anyway, and it's translated from Russian.
it's really one of those things that it looks good on paper, but in practice, it's impossible.
In practice, if you
it's
have
dangerous.
like-minded people who want to live in a utopian society, then awesome. But once you have a group of people, because you still have the elite, that's why you have the government people living in palaces that they took from the Romanovs in the Bolshevik Revolution. That's where all the government offices were created. And then they became so freaking paranoid of revolution that they created shit like the KGB and then started oppressing rights.
And now China's heading in that direction. Well, they have been suppressing rights and detaining anybody who speaks out against them.
Okay, Tiananmen Square was in the early 90s.
It's
So
same way.
they've always been
It's
that
just
way.
it's less publicized now, which is weird because there's more ways to get information out. But they've got the Great Firewall set up and all that crap.
The Great Firewall of China. Yeah, they...
Funny title, horrible thing though.
It's their country. I mean, they run it how they want. If the people of China didn't like it, they would, at least make some type of attempt to leave. I mean, granted, that's an expensive...
They're trying. Like that blind guy that seeking refuge in the U.S. and I guess trying. I don't know. I didn't look into that story in a long time.
The United States is not the place you want to try and seek refuge.
No, it's
right
not.
now. We are so in debt to China. It is ridiculous. We as a government, or not we as a government, our government is kissing so much ass to China right now. It's ridiculous. The only issue they're really standing up on is the whole lead paint thing. Because that's killing motherfuckers and making them retarded. Other than that, there is so much shit going on in China that we don't get involved in, and shouldn't anyway, because it's none of our damn business.
Yeah. Well, our own country's a wreck in itself.
Yeah.
I think we need to focus on that more than anything.
If you live in a junkyard, don't go clean your neighbor's yard and
I
make it
hate
beautiful.
how people are like, oh, well, Obama said he'd bring the troops back. If we brought them back overnight, do you realize the storm that would create?
Yeah, you
That
need to
would-
listen
that's-
to Newt Gingrich's new shit.
Oh, God, what's he saying?
Newt Gingrich wants to run for president in this
Well, I knew that.
year's election. He wants to
He's
shut
already
down all forward bases, recall all troops from everywhere in the world,
Oh,
and give up any and all forward, anything overseas. Cuba, what do we got? Japan, Germany. Of course, shut down the war. Just shut it down and pull everybody out
that's
in one fell swoop.
that's a terrible idea.
He wants to do a mass exodus and bring all Americans back to American soil, lock down the borders.
And then they're gonna it's gonna build up again. There's gonna be more attacks on us, and
There
we're
won't
gonna
be
have even
any
more enemies.
There won't be any attacks on us.
Oh, eventually there will be once they're done with their civil war. People are gonna realize what got us in this mess in the first place.
Well, here's the thing.
We're already one of the most hated
Once we
countries.
lock down our country, we can make it impregnable.
We can, but
If we have all our worldly troops, we're talking millions of people.
we
Our
have the number one
population-
military.
Our population would almost double if we recalled all military. That's going to put such a strain on our economy.
yeah, ours, which is already destroyed enough.
Yeah. But at the same time, he wants to take anybody who's not a citizen and boot them out.
It's
Revoke all green cards. Oh, he was going off one day.
well, I
on
think
CNN.
people don't realize there's no clean way to end the war and fix the economy. Like, it's going to take a lot of time. It's
The
gonna
problem
take a ton of
is
effort.
we did not initiate the wartime economy. In the wartime economy, all superfluous production halts, and we go into full military production. That means
We
all
don't even make our own
factories-
guns and stuff anymore.
No,
It's all sourced in.
yeah. And
There
that's
is no money for war like it used to be.
well. That's why I'm saying if we went into a wartime economy like they did in World War II,
Yeah.
that's the way it would have been. Because we'd have made all our own guns.
Well, now our options are either become like the other countries, like Sweden and all these countries that are having great economies, which Republicans don't want to do because for some reason they don't believe it works. Even
They
though
don't-
Every country that's done it works.
But they're in different situations.
That's true.
They
but I
don't
still
get
think
attacked. They don't have enemies.
that's true. But I mean, if we pull out for more, the only thing we can do is tax the super rich because there's no reason to have that much money when our economy is this bad.
If you have more money than 3 generations could spend in their lifetimes, that's too much. It's ridiculous.
I mean, that in itself is proof trickle down didn't work.
But that is Marxism. That's a Marxist principle. The rich need to contribute. Give up some of their holdings. Of course, it's not. It's only a Marxist attribute because in true Marxism, they would give up all their holdings. Everything that anybody has is given up for the greater good. You don't have ownership of anything. Everything is provided for you.
I'm not moving. I think the only thing that should be provided is health care, which is impossible at this point.
I think only the necessities.
Yeah. Things you need to survive.
Yeah. But I think you should have the rights, like, okay, the government provides you housing. You should have the rights to do with that housing as you see fit, as long as you're not like trashing it, making it a
Yeah. You have the
You
right
know.
to make improvements, basically.
right. Paint the walls, hang shit up, whatever.
Make
Whatever
it
you
better.
want to do. Personalize it. Make it yours. But it was given to you by the government. You can't sell it or anything like that, but you can make it yours, make it home. Whereas in communism, you wouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, no. That. I don't know, it's.
And just like government provided transportation in communism, but they only had one kind of car and it sucked. I mean, granted, yeah, they mostly drove BMWs, but it wasn't like the nice BMWs we get here.
It's like BMW takes all the parts, and they're like, well, this was a terrible idea for a part. Let's give it to the communists. They'll use it.
They made like a crappy little escort-looking car. And
I'm sick of this whole argument that the lower class isn't working hard enough. Are you kidding me? Do you see how much I work? You know how hard it is to support a family? Working lower class, minimum. They're saying minimum wage is already too high. Are you kidding me?
Here's what pisses me off. This whole 99% movement, right?
In theory, it's good, but they're not doing anything.
It's run by the middle class. The motherfuckers who have to worry the least.
Yeah.
About
well, because the lower class,
survival.
we're too busy going to work, you know?
Yeah, we can't stop working
I'm all
long
for
enough
it.
to join a movement.
I love the whole movement if they could get it together and, you know, actually do something with it. Which they're pretty much all shut down now. They found loopholes and...
I want to see the next president elected to be somebody who has lived in poverty.
That
Not just like once or twice. I mean, just like for years, actually lived in poverty.
That ain't gonna happen. I mean, our options now, it's looking like Obama or Romney, and they both... Romney especially super rich. And I hate his whole idea he'll create jobs. He's destroyed more jobs than anybody else running. He built a career off of destroying jobs and destroying other corporations.
Well, I mean...
And the man's just totally insane.
Anybody and everybody, regardless of what they promise or what they say they can do, first of all, the president only has so much power.
Yeah, that's what they're like. Obama hasn't done anything. Well, because you deadlocked him in. There's nothing he can do. He's trying. But everything...
The president... Well, I mean, he made a lot of promises that the president does not have the authority to make.
I agree with that.
You know? I agree with what he said, but there's no way he ever would have had the power to do it.
And the few things he could do, they're not allowing him to do. And they're good things. But...
He can write bills and submit it to Congress. That's it. It's up to Congress. If we don't elect new congressmen...
And Congress is too busy arguing in itself to...
Well, everybody's so concerned about the presidential elections, nobody even thinks about Congress. Senate and the House of Representatives. You got to get good people in there because they're the ones with the real power. The president's basically a figurehead with the power to veto. Which I'm sure he vetoes a lot of the stupid shit that they want passed.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
But until somebody gets in there and starts making salary cuts in Congress and all the high up government positions, not the lowly people working at the field offices who barely make ends meet as it is. I'm talking about the congressmen and all their aides. Not even their aides get paid stupid amounts of money.
But what's going to happen?
No congressman should ever get paid for the rest of their life. You know, after they're done with that job, they need to go get their ass another job.
Well, let's say we elect one of these Republican guys that want to eliminate Medicaid, Medicare, whatever, any program, welfare, all that. They want that gone. What's going to happen to people like me who depend on this kind of stuff? Like, I work every day. I don't make enough to
those of
feed
us
myself
who aren't
much less
laying
go to a
back on
hospital.
Those of us who don't lay back on our ass, but still could never afford proper health care.
I mean, I was at work with appendicitis. Just horrible pain, still working. Because I don't have the money to leave work.
Yeah.
I go to work sick. I
can't afford to miss a day to go get a surgery. Which you had to get anyway because it became emergency.
Yeah. So my options were either make myself more full or die.
Mm-hmm. And
that's how it's going to be for even middle class when they cut programs like that and stuff.
No, cutting those programs will not affect the middle class.
Well, what's going to happen when all of us lower class die off? Middle class is going to start filling those jobs, and they're going to be poor because all the money's going to the rich.
Yep.
And then they're going to die off. It's killing off the population, which we are overpopulated, but that's not the way it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, no, don't. If you really want to stop overpopulation, stop reproducing so much. Start
allow
promoting
more birth control options.
Yeah, legalize. Well, I don't think abortion's banned right now, is it?
No, they're trying to. It's in debate.
Quit bitching about abortion.
It's none of their business. That's up to the mother.
Yeah. Well, it should be up to the mother and father.
Yeah.
But
well,
mostly
in most
up to the
cases,
mother
the father's
because
not
it's-
there.
Yeah.
And that's like, I can't take care of a baby by myself.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to have a job while pregnant, maintain that job, and they're not going to let you have your job?
Mm-hmm.
You're gone for 3-4 months. No, your job's gone. We got to have someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid to think that someone can maintain a 40-hour-a-week job, at least, while being pregnant, and hope they don't get sick, and hope they have childcare and have to pay for childcare. That's a dumb idea to think that that's a possibility with as little money as we make.
These days, that's if you can find a full-time job.
If you can find a job.
Most jobs now are part-time because for part-time under federal law they don't have to pay benefits.
Yep.
And that's how they're fucking everybody.
Well,
37 and a half hours a week. You're considered part-time. They don't give you shit.
Did you see they released this list of fast food restaurants that treat their employees like crap? And I was shocked.
Most corporations treat their employees like crap.
Well, these are like the worst. Subway's